Hi chicos, hello. Today we're going to get started with number 1. Okay? Bien fácil, super the way they call you, or if it's just the same, it can be the name as well, nomás. Birthday, favorite song of the moment, and you think it's my favorite phrase to say in the class. Now this shouldn't take you more than 30 seconds to fill out. It should be papita, chicos. Ahora. Now, if you think that is. Let's get started. Problems, chicos. This one's. Ahí está. Mia has 3 cards with integers on them. Integers is positive and negative. The value of each card is shown below. First card is negative 12. Second card, 2. And third card is negative 8. Now, what is the sum of all the values? He has 3 cards. Sum, chicos. Oh, what does it look like that? ¿Qué pasó? What's going on? Sum means we're going to add all of these 3 integers, chicos. Muy bien. So let's set it up. I have no idea what's going on, chicos. That's super weird and that never happens. I don't know if you can see the blurry or if it's just my eyes because of how early it is. Plus 2 plus negative 8, right? That's weird, chicos. What's wrong with this thing? Sorry about that. Now, what we're going to do, chicos, is we're going to add, and since we're adding, that means we're going to use integers. So if they're the same sign, you combine, you add them. If they're different signs, you subtract, and you're going to keep the bigger number sign, sorry. Now, what that means is positive 2. They're different signs, so I'm going to subtract the numbers. 12 minus 2, 10. And I'm going to keep the negative because 12 is bigger. That's what I mean. Plus negative 8. Now, in this case, same sign, because they're both negative, combine. So 18, and you keep the same sign. Let's move on. It's just a little bit of work. But make sure that as soon as you get the test, chicos, I would write this down because it can really, really help when someone's confused as to what you do. So if you're adding, chicos, plus, you're doing sign and different signs. If you're subtracting, that's different. And we'll get there. Now, Ivan will label the numbers on the number line below. Which number will be located closest to 25 and which number will be located closest to 24? Move the correct answer to each. Not all answers will be used. That makes sense. Now, what I would recommend, chicos, first thing you do is check how much you're going by. So, after the 24, from this one to this one, how many lines does it take to get to 25? So I've got 1, 2, let's count, chicos. Let's go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Muy bien, chicos. Good job. So that's going by tens, chicos. So this is going to be 24.10, 24.20. Help me with that, chicos, también. 24.30, 24.40, 24.50, 24.60, 24.70, 24.80, 24.90, 25. Woohoo! You need to make sure all of these are decimals. Now, you already have 2 of them. And because this one has 2 integers, 2 decimals, you should also have 2 decimal places here. So add a 0 if you need to. Now this is 30, and this is 7. So you can start comparing which number is closer to 24 and which number is 25 when you put a point on it. Now, for these, you need to divide to find what the fraction represents. It's going to be 24 point something, but you don't know what that something is, or you might. And if you already know it, awesome, chicos. It's even better. But you have to do this to be able to find it if you don't. So you add a 0, bring it down, and 3/4, chicos, is going to be 0.75. Or 7/500, of course. Now, 4/5, it's going to be very, very easy. How many times can 5 go into 40? 8, and I'm done because I have a 0 in the bottom. So it's going to be 0.8. Ahora, remember, add a 0 so that you can compare. This one has 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. Now you can actually go place the points where they go. 24.07 is going to go a little bit around here, chicos. Un poquito por ahí. 24.07, más o menos. It's not quite 10, pero it's close. 24 is going to go exactly there. This is what you have to, chicos. Now, it's a little bit of time, pero if you actually, give the time to do it, you'll get it right. 24.75, that's going to be in between 70 and 80. And 4.80, so it's going to be right here. Ahora, which one is close? 24. Bueno, el más cerquita, 24, is this one. So we're going to drag this one when you do it. I think it should be letting you drag. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry, chicos. So that you can wake up. If someone said bless you, thank you, chicos. If not, shame. Shame. Muy mal. Ahora, close to this point, 24 point. You're going to put it exactly how they gave it to you. So I'd recommend putting it how it originally was. There? Papita, chicos. We made them all decimals so that we can compare them. And some of you can actually see which one is smaller and which one is bigger right away. Which go along, chicos. Number 3, papi. At a Panda Express, guacala. Now, all due respect, of course. All due respect, pero guacala. Como peso pluma. Ahora. At a Panda Express yesterday, 140 people ate there. Ahí comieron. 250 people that ate there. Oh, easy. So, the two things you're comparing, chicos, is the people that actually ate there and the ones that just drive through. Hey. Drive through. Ahí está. Si no, me regañar. Ate there, chicos, es 140. Aquí dice. Y drive-through es 250. Now, you want a percentage, ¿verdad? Let me just... You can simplify and then divide. That's completely fine. Once you do, you'll find a decimal. Van a encontrar un decimal. And when you find a decimal, you move it 2 times to the right. Let's say it's 0.15. Well, actually, it would be over here. Let's say it's 0.15, ¿verdad? If it's 0.15, what you have to do to make it a percent is you move it 2 times to the right, and you add a percentage right there. Now, I'm not saying it's 15 because it's not. Go ahead and find the answer yourself, chicos. Divide. There. Look for help. Ask for someone. Or even look at in for Google. But don't look the answer, look how to do it, chicos, because you're going to have to be able to do it yourselves. You choose the answer, whichever it is. Number 4, integer. The opposite. No, hombre. Mira, aquí me equivoqué. Mira, lo que voy a hacer es aquí. En fácil. Mira, no me fijé. Muy mal. Si yo dije Yareli, va a ser Yareli. Punto. Yareli. Ahí está, pero no para. Yareli is a número. She chose a number, right? It can be positive and it can be negative because of Yareli's number is negative. If the opposite is negative 38, you can deduce that Yareli's number is 38. Which one is true? The integer is 38, sorry. So, esta está mal, la 3, right away. And absolute value, chicos, value of any number, chicos, is always going to be positive. There's no way you can get a negative absolute value. Siempre va a ser positivo. Está. So, number 1 and number 4. Number 2 is impossible, chicos. Esta de plano debería estar muy mal. So, anything that has number 2 is wrong. And look, that gives you that answer. Papita. So, book 3-8. Or equivalent Sofía has read. Mira, otra vez se me fue. Sofía. Hombre. Not all answers will be used. Okay. So you have percentages, 3 percentages, 3 decimals. How can we go from a fraction? I wrote this out for you, and I would recommend you write it every single time you're working with a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. Now, fraction to decimal, we divide. So, 3 dividido por 8. Some of you should already know this because of the notebook, the decimals. The fractions that we wrote, this is one of them, chicos. How many times can 8 go into 30? Well, 8 times 4 is 32. Se va a pasar. So 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. And you subtract. You get 6. We add a little line, a 0, and bring it down. The little lines for organization, chicos, so that you remember you need a number there. 8 times what gives you 60? Pues 8 times 8 is too much. So 8 times 7. 8 times 7, 56. Then you 4. 8 times what? 5. So 0.375. This one is one of them, chicos. Now, how do you go from, let me write this here and write this here. How do you go from decimal to percent? Well, we're going to use Dr. Pepper. Fuchila también. What do you mean, Dr. Pepper, sir? ¿Nos va a traer sodas? No, hombre, ¿cuál? Maybe one day, maybe. Pero not today, ni tomorrow. Dr. Pepper means move it 2 times to the right and add a percentage. Because that's what you have. 1, 2. So the decimal is going to be ahí. And then percent. Papita. So be careful trying to confuse you. And the other one, this one, I think it's the next page. Papita, chicos. Number 6. A recipe for gummies with chamoy. A recipe. ¿Qué será? What are you going to use? ¿Quién sabe? Mira. Recipe for chamoy requires 1/3 cup of gummy bears. You actually don't need that many gummy bears. A lot of people just use it as an excuse, nomás para comerse puro chamoy. pero fúchila. Guacala. Chamoy. Now, he wants to make 4/5 recipe. How many cups of gummy bears should Lee use? Mira, Lee, aquí te cambiar el nombre, hombre. Okay. Uy, voy a poner, mira, Kim, since it's a 3-letter name. Now, a recipe for gummy bears requires 1/3 cup, okay? And Kim just wants to make 4/5 of a recipe. So right away, all you have to do, multiply across. 1 times 4, 4. 3 times 5, 15. Yeah. You're not going to divide, chicos. Little bags each. Nada de eso. So, multiply right away. Adding and subtracting, we haven't even covered that for fractions. So, yeah, it's literally just papita. Number 7. Está Roberto's boy. Roberto. No me salió. Roberto wrote this expression on a piece of paper. What is the value of this expression? Okay. So you have this right here, chicos. Tenemos este problema. We're adding. That's good. We're multiplying. Okay, good. We're dividing. Okay, that's good. Ahora, chicos, ¿qué vamos a hacer primero? You ask. Bueno, if you write PEMDAS, les debe de ayudar. What do we need to do first, sir? Pues mira, P means parentheses, and look, we have an operation inside. So that means we're going to handle this first. We're dividing a negative and a positive. Híjole, negative and a positive. And we're dividing. So, when multiplying or dividing integers, we're going to use Chico Dorito. Negative and a, so negative, we scratch it out, and a positive, we scratch out what we have. That means our answer is going to be negative for this, just this inside. -8. Let me write mejor. Divided by 4, -2. Y les digo, va a ser negativo. And you bring everything else down. Now, we have one more operation aquí. -5 times 3. PEMDAS, ya acabamos parentheses, exponent, and we do have multiplication division. Let's handle that next. So -5 times 3. This is a negative. This is a positive. So, little Chico Dorito. Negative and a positive. So it's also going to be negative. -15 plus -2. We have the same sign, chicos. Same sign, what do? Same sign, you combine. So let's go ahead and add. 15 plus 2, 17. And you keep the same sign. Papi, chicos, this is the way you do it. Multiplying integers, Chico Dorito. Same sign. It's going to be positive, chicos. Different sign is going to be negative for multiplying. So if Chico Dorito is not enough for you, just make sure that if you remember, same sign is going to be positive, different sign is negative. Así de fácil. Now, all you have to do is draw a little Dorito and then the positive and the negatives. Same sign, you combine. Different, you subtract. Pretty straightforward, if you ask me. Layla is playing a game in her math class. She picks 3 cards and the value per cards is shown. So you have -18. What is the sum? So I have plus 6 plus -3. Papita, chicos. Papita. What is the value of Layla's 3 cards? Okay, chicos. When you're adding, same sign you combine, different signs you subtract. So, if you write chicos, there's no parentheses, There's no exponent, and there's one multiplication division. So we just have adding and subtracting. In this case, all we have is adding, so no KCO. KCO is only when you're subtracting to turn it into a plus, to turn it into an addition problem on purpose. We don't want to subtract. But aquí it's already adding, so we're good. Now, first two numbers, left to right, a ver, negative and a positive. Different signs, chicos, ¿qué hacemos? We subtract. What's 18 minus 6? 12. And because this one's bigger, we're going to keep this sign. Negative 12 plus, and then just bring everything else down that's left over. Now we have same signs. Same signs, what do you do, chicos? You combine. So what's 12 plus 3? 15. Same sign, you combine, and you keep the same sign. Negative 15. Papita. Vámonos. Ooh. A team of 4 players competed in a golf contest. The names and scores of players are shown in the table. The team score is the sum of all the scores. Once again, chicos, all you got to do be adding these numbers. It doesn't matter how many they are. It's going to be adding, so you shouldn't be scared. There's not going to be any KCO, because that's when you're subtracting and you want to turn it into adding, but it's already adding. It's not going to be Chicolorito, because that's only for multiplying and dividing. So all you're going to do, same sign, same sign, different signs. Different signs. So you subtract 4 minus 3, 1. Keep the negative. Plus, you bring everything else down. Plus 0, chicos, mira. Ya lo deberían de haber hecho. You don't even have to. So you're going to add these two, chicos. Same sign. Same sign. What do you go ahead and find the answer yourselves? Very, very simple, chicos. Honestly. Now, this one, chicos. Which expressions have a value of 0? What I want you to do is I want you to always focus on 2, chicos. Focus on 2. Now, I'm going to tell you something. All of these, chicos, they're either adding or subtracting. So, go crazy, adding and subtracting. So you choose the first 2, chicos. Focus on these 2 first. Este is positive 7 and this is negative 7. Pero, aquí, chicos, because you're subtracting, you are going to do KCO. What's KCO, sir? That means keep, change, opposite. So you're going to keep this one, change this one, and the opposite of negative 5, 5. So this is 12 plus negative 12. Now you're adding here, so different signs. You subtract 12 minus 12, 0. And look, that's what you're looking for. Which one makes you or gives you 0? Esta sí. You're going to find the other one, chicos. Please make sure that you follow one by one. You work on them. These are the same signs. And it's adding, so you don't do KCO. Same sign, plus 2 is 6, and you keep the same sign. Now you're going to bring everything else down, chicos. And I mean everything. And like I said, focus on the next 2. Okay, estas dos, but you're subtracting. So you're going to do KCO para que sea adding, chicos, de a fuerza. Because it's beneficial. Negative 6, you keep it. And then the opposite of negative 9, positive 9. Ahora, make sure you don't forget this one, acá. So like I said, you focus on 2, and you do them. Different signs, you subtract. So negative 6 plus 9, chicos, is going to give you 3. And because this one's bigger, it's going to be positive. So just 3 minus 1. Now here, There's no need to do KCO, even though you can. 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is not one of them. Now, go ahead and do this one if it gives you 0 or not. It should be pretty simple, chicos. Pretty straightforward, la verdad. Now, let me adjust again. Sorry. Estoy acomodando. The circles on the model represent positive and negative units, chicos. La verdad, this should be pretty straightforward, chicos. Pretty straightforward, so I'm not even going to, worry about it. Now, how many negatives do you have? How many positives do you have? And when they cancel each other out, what's left over? Tienes, what do you start with? What are you adding? What are you subtracting? And what's your final answer, chicos? Mira, positive and negative. This one you should be able to do it on your own. I don't even have to do it. With numbers from least to greatest. Ahora, first thing I would do, chicos, first thing is write all of them again as decimals. But sir, this is a fraction. Fácil. And when you do, you're going to have 0.2. Okay. 2, but it's negative. Okay, sir. So this is going to be negative 7.5. And then 8. So you already found them once, chicos. When you find them once, you can go to all the answer choices, chicos. Oh, there should be 9 or 8. I don't know. So let's put that as 9. That's fine. So it's 9, no importa. El chiste es, whatever they are, chicos, go ahead and write them down again on top. That way you can compare them and be checking for which one's the smallest, and which one's the greatest. No, with 9, I can, guarantee that. Pero, look for the smallest one, chicos. Remember, the bigger the negative, the smaller the number. That's pretty, straightforward. Go ahead and find that one yourself, chicos. Está bien fácil. 15. A box of peanut butter Monster, I have one in my room, contains 30% peanut butter. How many ounces of peanut butter are contained in 180 ounces of peanut butter box? Ahora, you have a percent, chicos. You have the 100, porque siempre va a estar. It's always going to be there. And 180 ounces of the box, chicos. Do you think that's a part or the total or the whole? So, go ahead and set up everything you have. Okay, I told you guys, find the part. Sorry. Pero, en el examen no les van a decir, chicos, find whole, find part, find percent. Tú saber qué tengo. Okay, this looks like the total. This is the percent. And then velo acomodando. Okay, 30, 100. Mira, ya me lo acabo. I just need one more number to be able to solve it. Okay, perfect. Ahora, you're going to do what we've been practicing for several weeks now. Wakanda Forever. The two that have numbers on the ends of the line, you multiply. And then you're going to divide by the one that just doesn't have a partner. So you're going to divide by 100. When you multiply 180 times 30, chicos, whatever you get, divide by 100. Now you can see the video. Now at a bakery, 25 over 40 of the items sold are conchitas. Which percentage, qué porcentaje that are conchas? You gotta just turn this into a decimal and then a percent. Papita. But sir, how do we do that? Well, you should already be writing this down. FDP. We divide. Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper. Para allá, para allá. Para acá. Para acá. How you say it. Ahí está. So you go over there, para acá, or para acá. Now in this case, because it's a fraction, and you want a percent, you're going to go this way. So first you have to divide. Once you find the decimal, 2 times, I just put like something like, for an example, 2 times to the right should give you your percent. Go ahead and find it, chicos. Okay, chicos, how this problem is set up, just multiply. Así de fácil. Así de fácil. Kyle had 2/5 of a pound of sugar. He used 4/6 of the sugar to make brownies. So, right away, así. Now, whatever you get, simplify and you'll find your answer. Así de fácil. Next one. 2 models are shown. Which expression does each model, and like me, yo soy model, represent? Select the correct answers for each model from the 5 options shown below. Drag the correct answer to each box. Not all answers will be used. Para el que se rió o el que no me cree, acuérdate que yo soy Mr. Ken. You will. Now, all you gotta do, chicos, is, a ver, ¿dónde empezamos? Where did we start, chicos? ¿Dónde empieza la línea? It's going somewhere, but where did it start? What's the starting point? So that should be your first number. Y les digo, if it's going to the right, it's adding. If it's going to the left, you're subtracting. But careful. If you're subtracting, you're going to do KCO first. Aquí no. You're adding here, so there's no need. Aquí sí. KCO. You're going to practice your KCO very well with these problems. Pero you can even check, a ver, what number, how many jumps, todo. So from here is, a ver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So -4, and you add 6. When you do KCO for this one, there you go. -4, and you add 6. Boom. 3, and it's going to go to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 3, and you're subtracting 5. 3, and you're subtracting 5. So aquí tenemos 3, and you're subtracting 5. Papita. Now, this should actually be the other way around, pero it still gives you -2. So that's where we landed, and that's Papita. Now, on the one I give you to do on your own, chicos, please make sure that you do all of them. It might even be numbers. They're very long to, write them. But even then, try your best. Do the steps that you can in the video. Like and subscribe, of course. ¿Verdad? And as soon as I have like 100 followers, hago ¿cómo se dice? Una rifa. Now, I know this is very straightforward. Continue reviewing Monday, Tuesday, Papita. Have a nice one, chicos. Mr. Ken signing off. Bye-bye. Y remember, peso pluma, guacala. Bye, chicos. Arriba las Chivas. Y CR7. CR7. Bye, bye.